I'm pregnant. There we are. Hands on the chest.
Okay, now we are recording. Oh, thank you so much for being here tonight. Today it's September 9, and wow, in 1 month we will have our first Canadian conference, and we are a few days after our first Pajama Canadian regional, and all of you were on it, and Mitra did absolutely amazing job with Doug opening it, and what a training, Mitra. Then I don't think I need to introduce Dr. Mitra Ray to all of us. If somebody doesn't know her, go read her bio on Team Shining Star website. And she's not only brilliant mind, but she is a brilliant heart and brilliant mentor. Then we love you all, and we are sending you so many stars, and please take it away, Mitra.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to hear people's impression from the online regional. Was everybody on it? Was there somebody who wasn't on it? All you guys caught that? Okay.
Only part of it.
You only caught part of it, and it wasn't recorded, I guess, right?
It was.
Yeah, it was
recorded.
Okay.
Somebody
well,
did it, thank goodness.
What they said. I think I saw the button on.
Yeah, it was recorded.
Great. So I would encourage you guys to watch it. I thought the content was really, really good. And but I just want to hear feedback. What did you guys get out of it? How has it shifted the way you're doing your business, maybe, or any questions? Anybody want to go on that?
If I'll start. It was really good, and it just made me think about how it's going for me. And I will say that I haven't surrendered, I guess is what I learned from Sandy. And it's a hobby for me right now. It's a hobby. So
Okay.
I'm not ashamed of that. I'm
okay, well, being ashamed, that's not really useful. So
but I mean, not. I feel that that's all I can do right now, is just for me to understand that it was very cool to listen to her speak that way.
But is that something you want to shift, Roxanne?
Now, no.
Okay. Why is that?
Just because I'm not able to right now.
Okay. Okay, hold that thought. Because I want to get back to that. I want to kind of hear from everyone, but let me just make notes here as you guys are talking. And then somebody else can go while I'm pulling up some notes.
Yeah, I can share the part that I did hear, which was and I apologize that I wasn't on the whole thing, but I birthdayed all weekend and was taken away to a place that didn't have internet. So I heard the part on customer care, and I found that I just really enjoyed that talk on the idea of being a health concierge. I really liked that. I felt that, it sort of resonated with me, because I do tend to not want to overload people with Juice Plus customer care, but I hadn't kind of expanded that horizon into maybe I could just, be feeding different types of health related information that is, coming from our sources, and just be a support. So that I found helpful, and then I will watch the rest. So
good. And I know you're on vacation, but do you have some plans for how you're going to put that into action?
Yeah, I think not really plans yet, but I've had some thoughts on it. Just really consider how I could plug my customers into more consistent contact. So I'm just thinking about how could I actually expose them to more health support or financial support, depending on what their needs are, and in a way that isn't exhausting to me. Because as a health coach, I've done that in the past, or I was, health concierge, so to speak, but I found it very tiring to be always sort of plugging in information. So I'm now thinking about how I could do that and be supportive without having it be tiring.
Okay, great. So supportive without being tiring. And that's also something, there isn't a single challenge here that you guys are going to say, I have a feeling, that I haven't gone through myself. I just want you guys to all understand that I so relate to these challenges, because you can't be successful you can't do this as long as I've been doing it without facing pretty much all the challenges in the book, right? So I just want you to know that there's no challenge that you're facing that is like not right or not appropriate or anything. I want you to feel free to really share your challenges here. So I appreciate that, Robin, because that healer burnout thing, I mean, I coined that term, like, many people who come into our business are what I call healer archetypes. You understand what an archetype is, right? You just enjoy helping people feel better. And so you're kind of compelled to share health information, but then it can also be draining because they want so much, people don't know how to help themselves sometimes, and then it becomes draining. So that's also a challenge. So, that's legitimate, and we can talk about that as well. Okay, who else?
I'll go next. I watched the whole thing. It was excellent. I took like 5 pages of notes.
Okay.
And I liked, Doug's story was really good about the Sinaloa.
Sinaloa?
Sinaloa, strength in numbers, law of averages. And your story was really good, Mitra. There's little bits in there that I'd never heard before. Where you were like showing how you were in the lab and like, that was me and there I was. And like, I just didn't realize, that what I was doing was actually really hurting yourself physically. Right. Mm-hmm. And you were so focused on this one thing, and I never known that before. And just I really like the way that you were showing us. You wanted to tell us so bad about what's going to happen next year, but you held it all back, and I was so proud. I was like, "You're going to tell us? Is she not going to tell us? Maybe tell us." And nope, you held it in. So that was really good. But now I'm totally excited. I'm like, "Oh, what's going to happen? Like, it's going to be awesome." Two parts that I really liked. The first part was Sarah Klesko, when she was talking about what's your posture? How do you posture yourself, and what are you presenting to people when you're talking to them? Are you the meek and mild, or are you kind of, really showing people that this is what I believe, this is what I know, this is what I believe, and you're coming on as a very confident person and not just, oh, please buy my product from me, and being kind of subservient, And because when as soon as you do that, they're thinking in the back of their mind, are they really serious about this stuff or not? So right. I really liked her little aspect there about what are you posturing? Keep it really simple. And the new Shining Star webpage is brilliant. I love it. I'm going to be using that. I signed up a new rep the other day, and we're starting to tomorrow go through that whole system there of everything, getting started, and like teach them one thing, they teach everybody else the same thing. So we're going to start off with that. And I really liked when she said, know your high and lows in life. Like this, it's not the straight line, it's the zigzag, right? And know where you are and know it's okay. That was really good. I was looking at it and going, yeah, there's my low. That's where I am right now. Could pick it right out. But then you have the opportunity to look back and say, I had some really awesome moments, right? And this low is going to pass, and I'm going to be in the high again, and it's going to be great. But I think it's really important that you do understand that those do happen, and then that's why it's so important to have a good buddy, right? Because then the buddy is like, Radka's my buddy, and I can phone her up and go, "What? It's such a shitty month," but He's like, oh, it's okay, you know, it'll go. What did you do wrong? Like, what can you do better? But then really, Sandy and Michelle, and you know what, Roxanne too, like, you have to really surrender it. You have to surrender and give yourself over to your business. And you have to be committed and be absolutely committed 100%. Because being committed 50% is not going to take you to where you want to go. You have to be committed 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I go? Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Mitra, go ahead.
Go ahead, Megan.
While it's in my mind, I might forget. But what really got me was Kelly Rogers. When he spoke about time management and understanding how to know where you're going with the rest of your family. And that's something I struggle with, because all of a sudden I'll tell Norm, oh, I'm off to Vancouver with Radka. I was like, what? And I don't give him enough time to what I'm doing. And I find sometimes I feel like maybe he doesn't care, or maybe and then all of a sudden, you never tell me what's going on. And it's like, oh my God, like, and he really opened me up to what that is like that communication is so important about what your actions are, where you're going, your calendar, and you're talking to someone on the phone, and how many people we do need to talk to on the phone. And another thing I really appreciate is Teamsy. And I love Teamsy. I can't say enough about Teamsy, and it really has helped me really step out of my comfort zone. And I'm super scared to go live. Like, I'm super scared to be right here talking to you guys. Like, it's totally out of my comfort zone. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth sometimes. So that's a big fear for me. But that's reality. And speaking in front of people and that kind of thing. But I also really appreciate that bank code with people's personalities and really understanding, okay, where they're at, understanding where they're at. And I've learned so much, like, and that whole regional, I wrote so many notes and I need to watch it again. But the one thing that really stood out for me was Kelly Rogers, like when he spoke up and all the experiences that he went through and was able to come home and be there. And like, it just, I start crying. There's lots of moments in there. And also the 3 super builders, like those 3 girls really touched my heart too. Anyways, got lots out of it. I just,
Great. Awesome. Okay, who's next? Scott, Kate?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. I agree with what the ladies were saying about Doug, how you were talking about the law of averages. And that's just something that I've been trying to process in my mind. And yeah, the highs and the lows, it's definitely been a low for Barb and I at this moment financially. And I transitioned out from an injury and I had like a bunch of weeks off. And so we're definitely in a low, but Barb's really been pushing us, and she's working on all these groups, and we had a shred group start this shred here on our own. And yeah, just the dedication and definitely time management has been a big issue for us, starting our new jobs and just getting into a routine. And so this Pacific Regional was fun. We were through the whole thing as well, and the reason that we only had the picture up is because we were spending a lot of time last minute trying to get a costume idea going. I had nothing. I turned a Harlem Globetrotters hoodie inside out and cut out the little things for us. And yeah, but it was awesome. The consistency of just watching these videos is giving me more confidence to get on and start doing my own things, because that's where I've just kind of stepped back. I go through these highs and lows on Facebook as well, right? Where I'm posting all these things, and then all of a sudden I just disappear for a while and kind of go through my lows, and it's difficult. But that's also something with time management that we have to work on, definitely, because a lot of these ideas that you people are passing on is you're posting ahead of time. You're thinking of your posts like Ariel Shipe and all these, like they're posting days, weeks ahead, and they're prepared. And that's a new concept for me, right? To go for construction and
Sure.
and I was on the men's call just before this with Jeff Olshin and Jake Rude, and learning that new place for me, because I'm in this, look at the call here, it's me and Doug on, right? I'm always surrounded by tons of women, and I love it. It's awesome, but so that men's call was very important for me, and hearing the men's story in the Pacific Regional, I mean, yeah, it was really helpful, and we're super pumped to leading up to the conference coming up. We have our tickets that we won back on the island, and yeah, Barb's looking at getting people down, so we're feeling the fire starting to pump up for the first Canadian conference, and it's exciting.
Great. Awesome. And Kate.
Okay, here I am. Yeah, I'd like to say I really, really enjoyed, I was over with Roxanne Schaefer-Roth and really enjoyed the regional, and I also took copious notes. You know, I struggle with my business, and I think it's for a lot of different reasons, and I don't know that I even can you know, talk about all of them right now, but I am sort of dissecting. I actually took my book out after the regional and went through things, and you know, people know, I think, in the group that I struggle with my health. I work at it every day, but I think that's been a block for me with my business as well. You know, how would people, they're going to take one look at me walking with my walker and think, you know, she's not healthy. Why should I buy something from her? But then on the other hand, that's not true at all, because people know my passion for nutrition and come and ask me for advice quite often, you know, on different levels. And so I try to, in my own kind of passionate way, share, you know, all about Juice Plus in the way that I do. Through trying to ask the questions, I'm really one for freezing when it comes to, oh yeah, what's the right thing to say at this particular moment? So I actually have my little cards from way back when from you, Mitra, you know, the questions, and I have to read them over and over, because when it comes down to it, it's like writing an exam. All those things go right out of my head, and I think, oh, I've just got to talk from the heart, you know. So I find what works for me quite often is, you know, I like doing little health shows around the area, because it's easier for me when people approach me and I can share, you know. I don't know, for some reason that's just how it is. And I haven't grown my business at all, really. And I do try and qualify each month, and that's important. And time management too, I think has been a big struggle for me. I have a very full life, like everybody else, you know. I'm not working per se at anything else other than my Reiki, but I do give a lot of time and volunteer for things, and that includes my grandkids that live here. My daughter's a single mom, so I help a lot with driving kids. I'm like the grandma taxi, and we have 2 international students that I mother.
So great. You've got your hands pretty full, and you're
yeah, there's the but though. I still think I can do better.
Yeah. For all of you, like whatever you think is holding you back, well, it is, because that's what you believe.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe is what's running the show, like your belief. And, you know, you're always going to prove yourself right. So if you believe you don't have time, you won't have time. If you believe you do have time, it doesn't matter how busy you are, you'll find the time. But it very much has to do with fundamentally what you believe. So I want to get into some particulars. Is this call 1 hour? Because if it's 30 minutes, we're
you
done.
can keep going, Mitra.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Okay,
are
well,
all
let's
here very
get
seasoned people. Nobody is
Okay.
jumping.
Well, let's get some real work done here then. You know, so come 2020, it will be a new company. It's almost like a brand new start in terms of like how exciting the company is. There's nothing wrong with the company or the business, or it's just going to get better. It's going to get a whole lot better, a whole lot simpler, and easier to explain to people. You guys might have to work a tad bit harder like we do in the US, because it's going to take the same number of customers. Like if it takes, let's say it takes, and I'm making this number up off the top of my head, but let's say it takes 400, probably 300 trio orders or 250 trio orders in your organization to get to NMD. I'm just making that number up. In the USA, if it's 250 numbers, 250 quads, let's say 250 quads to get to NMD. In Canada, it will be the same. 250 quads, okay? That's new. That means what's happening in Canada, one thing I will tell you is one of the things that came out in the analysis, and we all kind of knew it anyway, is that Canadian NMDs were making less money. Canadian 39 clubbers, 50 clubbers, 100 clubbers were on average making less money than in the US, because you have a higher price, so less volume gets you to those positions because the marketing plan was the same. So they figured out the numbers, focusing on increasing your check to get to these positions, okay? And giving you more money in the process. Like the title bonuses are just, I don't know if you've heard the rumors, but there's one thing I can tell you is from 0 to the top of the marketing plan, like they're going beyond NMD, creating some new positions. So it's not like club levels anymore. It's going to be like these other positions that they have in Europe, plus one more. There's going to be 6 figures just in title bonuses alone from start to the top. So the title bonuses keep getting bigger. You get to NMD. It's 10,000 now. It's going to be bigger. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you go up past NMD. Okay? So that it's much bigger than the club bonuses were in the past. So that's significant. And I am trying my best to kind of think ahead. So with the Shining Star website, we're going to actually also make some changes and try to get simpler and simpler. So, kind of stay tuned. It's going to be really important to stay tuned into RepRap. And I don't know how many of you know that we've changed RepRap so Scott, you've started your own Shred group, great, but you might want to add your customers to the Shred movement group at the same time, because tomorrow and starting tomorrow and the end of the year, and I might continue this, is customer acquisition. I'm really focusing on customer acquisition. So I'm going to be talking, the RepRap will be product focused, health focused, answering people's health questions and mostly product questions and Shred questions on RepRap. When it'll be the same Zoom number, but when we go live, so you can share the Zoom number with your prospects too. But when we go live, I won't go live in Shining Star. I'll go live in the Shred movement group tomorrow. Okay? That's going to be to help you guys with customer acquisition. Okay? So we should just have a conversation about health, conversation about the products, conversation about the Shred, all of that. And it'll be like RepRap. It'll be casual. So the first week is going to be Sandy, as she's been doing motivational training for RepRap. Second week will be product. Third week will be back to Shining Star page on creating momentum in the middle of the month. Like, what can we do to create momentum? And the fourth week will be to close the business month strong. So we're like getting Like, I'm getting super organized, and it's time for you guys to get super organized. Like, yeah, what are those posts, Scott, that you're going to put up? What app are you going to use? How are you going to manage? Because it is different than construction, for sure, right? Megan, like, you know, one of the things I took on was to go live at 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday. And it is not easy to commit to that every day. I am a 7-figure earner, been doing it for 25 years, and I doubt myself every morning, like, oh my God, am I going to say anything meaningful? Are people going to like me? You know, it is just, it's called emotional labor. You've heard me maybe, you know, train on emotional labor, but emotional labor is what we get paid on in this business, okay? Like, not physical labor, like construction, Scott, but emotional, taking a risk, taking an emotional risk, putting yourself out there. And for sure, some people will like me, for sure. There's somebody that comes on every time. And I don't know if it's ignorance, like this person's really old and doesn't know what they're doing, or it's a little bit of stabbing. But every time I get on, somebody hits all the emojis, the angry little emoji floats up, the, you know, all the negative emojis also float up during my live every time without fail. It's like they're on a mission. Either they're on a mission to give me all these emojis, or they are trying to just actually back me up, but they don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But I have to say, I don't care. You know, I'm on my mission and I'm going to go live. And I've noticed that as I go live more often, my team goes live more often. And they get a little piece of me Monday through Thursday too, that I have to remind myself, like, I always want to know, oh, okay, I'm glad that I served a purpose. Opening, like, you're never going to stop questioning yourself. This is just so human, to wonder if you did a good job, to care. And that's a good thing, that you care. It's just a good thing that you care, that you want to provide value. The fact that you care about what other people are thinking is both, it can be good or bad depending on how you see it, right? It can be bad if it's like it paralyzes you, but it can be good if you understand it just means that you care, that you want to make an impact. That's all it means. You know, don't make it mean anything more than that, right? Like, get on there, right? And when Roxy, you said 100% committed, you got that. I think it was, I can't remember who. Both Roxanne and Roxy said the same thing about, like, you know, being 100% committed does not mean full-time effort, folks. It does not mean full-time effort. It means that you're intentional for 10 to 20 hours a week. We've done the research. You got to spend 10 hours a week. People who spend less than 10 hours a week, it's not rocket science. You're like, you all are, most people beat themselves up, like, you know, either I don't have the time, or I don't have the ability, or I'm not consistent, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't have this, I don't have, you've got your belief systems about what you can or cannot do. Like Roxanne, right now, your belief system is that you don't have the bandwidth. And I want to tell you, you have the bandwidth. But that's my belief system. But your belief system is that you don't have the bandwidth. Am I correct, Roxanne, that you can't go part-time? I mean, you can't commit. Yeah, you. I'll say Roxy for Pichet and Roxanne for, how about that?
Yeah, no, yeah, same, I guess, like you say, just I'm talking to people every day. That I never have stopped doing. It's just, when I'm thinking about when I work full time, and then I'm volunteering, and I'm taking care of a couple of seniors, and I still talk and talk and talk, and I may get the odd customer or two, but I want to find some business partners. And all the people that I've signed up to work the business with me, as soon as they don't get anyone to purchase the product, or what have you, they just say to me, this is stupid and I'm out. And I say, okay, that's great, no problem. I'll be looking for, you know, somebody new. But I would just love to find someone to, like Megan, you know, we've worked together and she's independent, right? And we talk if we need help, or I can help her, she can help me or whatever. But like, it's just, I'm finding it hard to find, like I say, all my gals that I had with me, the minute they have to work, they just say, oh, no, why aren't they buying it? They should all be, I said, you know what I mean? So
that's
they don't want to
you've
be
really,
they don't
so
want me.
what do you guys hear from Roxanne when she's speaking about her distributors?
They don't want to
Does
work.
anybody?
They don't.
Yeah.
Once it's involved work, they pieced out.
Okay, so what?
Is
Go ahead,
has
Roxy.
a story that
Roxy.
she's telling herself.
Also that they feel like they're a failure because they haven't gotten a customer.
Okay. Do you guys remember my training on the fifth belief? Anybody remember that from when I opened up?
Yeah, I will look.
Just a minute.
No
Yes.
memory.
The fifth belief was personal growth, belief in people, believe in yourself, believe in your team, believe in your efforts, and don't take negativity into your next conversation.
So what's Roxanne doing?
Taking the negativity with her.
Right. So how can she ever get that next rep if she believes that, and I'm picking on you a little bit, Roxanne, but trust me, we all have this issue.
Oh, I haven't. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like we take the past with us into the next conversation, okay? So I want to do an exercise with all of you right now about your emotional energy. And it's going to require like a little bit of focus and concentration. I'm glad none of you are driving. So I want you to close your eyes. First, like, come up with what you want. Like, let's say you want to get to the next position or your income, or choose something that you want. Okay? And if somebody wants to volunteer as a, well, we'll just number one, let me know when you all have something that you want to focus on that you want out of your Juice Plus business. You can choose a club level, you can choose an income level, a position. Yeah, Roxanne, what's an example? Roxy.
National Marketing Director in 1 year.
Okay. Roxanne?
Just increase my income.
Oh, give me a number.
Oh, $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month. Okay. So something like that, something very specific, okay, that you want like that, okay? You've heard the specificity, so everybody has something specific like that in their head, okay? Now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to notice what's going on in your body when you want that. Just notice, like, go inside in your body, notice how you're breathing, notice your stress level, notice your this emotional, like what emotions arise. I want you to feel your physical and emotional body around wanting that thing that you want. Just take note, okay? And where are you breathing? How are you breathing? Are you breathing? Okay, now, open your eyes. We're gonna stop, switch, change gears. I want you to go into the future where you have what you want. You actually have it, and bring it into the now. Right now, you're already there. You're already there. That thing that you wanted, you have it in your hands. You are experiencing it. Now go into your emotional body and your physical body. And how does that feel to have it already? Notice where you're breathing. Notice how you're breathing. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the thoughts that are coming through your head. But stay more in the body, not so much in your head. In your emotional body, in your physical body. You have it already. It's here now. You have it. Okay, now slowly open your eyes. Who wants to tell me the difference between wanting and having? Radka?
Well, with wanting, I almost feel not scared, but again started to question, can I do it? I felt so many times, can I do it? For me, it was 6,000 a month income. And when I got it, I was walking. I was so proud, not only about myself, about my team, about how many people I am helping, how I am contributing to our family income, how I'm taking burden just from Paul. And I finally did what I was promising to be doing for a long, long time and felt so damn good. I don't want to go from that feeling anywhere.
Right. And you don't have to ever. So, because you're in control of your body and your emotions and so you have to like really discipline being in the having feeling. And I'll go into that. But where were you breathing? Do you notice the difference in your breath?
When I was thinking about it as a present, it was more here. Mm-hmm. But when it was that happiness and feeling fulfilled, it was just whole body was breathing.
Perfect. Great. Okay. Anybody else have a similar experience?
I did too. I was full of fear the first time and shallow breathing, totally shallow breathing. But after the meditation, sorry.
That was me.
Okay, afterwards it was the same full belly breathing. It was much better. I felt totally, my whole body was lighter.
So raise your hand if you align with what kind of Radka and Kate just said. Yeah? Okay, and if you didn't feel that, I want you to do this exercise again till you can distinguish for yourself the difference between how you breathe and how you feel when you want versus have. Okay? Because when people say visualize it, I want you to go into your body and feel having it. So here's the thing. We are in the now, right now, this moment, right? People are never in the now. They're either ashamed about the past or have regrets about the past, or they're worried about the future. They're hardly ever in the now, and they don't control their now. They don't control their physiology now, their breath now, their energy now. They let fear and regret, about what's going to happen in the future, or regret and shame about the past, control this moment right here. But all your power is right now, okay? So you cannot approach your business from a place of wanting. You have to approach it from a place of having. The confidence, the security, the breathing. Just notice where you're breathing. If you're going to reach out to a prospect, first align your energy into that place of having. Start your morning with visualizing, feeling, breathing, having into your body. Having into your body. And the more you change your physiology, the world must match that physiology. That is a universal truth. You will find leads, qualified leads falling out of the sky. You will find people want to buy Juice Plus from you. You will find people want to sign up with you. And all those things you said will slowly wash away. They just will, because you're in the place of having, not wanting. Is that making sense to you guys?
Yes.
So, Scott, I don't know, you didn't raise your hand. What happened for you?
It's funny you asked. Your video froze right as you were saying it, and I didn't know if everybody else had froze, and then I seen everybody raise their hand, and I was like, I wonder if they heard it, but I didn't hear you say it, so I raised my hand. I totally had a good feeling. Like the feeling leading up was like I wasn't breathing, and I had no idea where I was, and then after it was just like relief and like that feeling.
Right. Yeah. Let's do this business from that place of relief. Oh my gosh. Just feel relief that you have it already.
Relief.
You will be so much more effective. There is nothing you need other than that energy as you take action in your business. That energy is more powerful than anything. It is the most powerful force in the world, is your creative energy. But your like people who believe, you know, Edison believed that he would discover electricity, that he would make that light bulb bright. He believed. The Wright brothers believed that someday they would fly. They felt it. And it doesn't matter how long, and the journey is the journey of life, how you get there. You know, like just settle into the journey, surrender to the journey of like, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. I'm feeling it. This is actually happening. I'm secure in my journey of having it, and it's coming to me. I can feel it. Bit by bit, it's coming to me. I feel it. And all those other things that you were saying about how reps are and why they fall off and all of that, if you find yourself there, what are you doing? You're worried about the future, and you're taking the past with you. And that's not serving you at all. This is the most fundamental training I can ever give you about success. You must come from a place of breathing in the belly, secure your soul, your higher power. You are not giving any credit to your higher power unless you're coming from a place of having. We are all magnificent human beings, and you can make it all happen. Everything that you want, you can create. Absolutely, but you have to come from a place of having. Otherwise, there's just a lot of unnecessary suffering.
Amen.
Roxanne, like posturing, that is the ultimate posturing. Is to come from a place of, Roxy, sorry, coming from a place of having.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mitra.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I have something for all of you to do. If you go to Team Trans4orm Facebook page, I just put the link for the Shining Star Breakfast Friday morning. So make sure you get, Radka posted the link to the Boombox tickets for conference, and I posted the link for the Shining Star morning breakfast.
Yeah, I got mine.
Perfect.
Yeah, I did
Make
too.
sure your team gets it. And I just want you to, one of the things I want you to practice having from now till conference, till the very last minute, is every morning, can you guys promise me that you're going to imagine having, you choose the number of guests, frontline guests there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, really, really practice, because as Eric Worre says, the number one thing you can master is promoting for events. Don't worry about if you find yourself in like, what am I going to say? How am I going to invite that friend? Stop. Don't do that. Just meditate for 5 minutes on having those guests there and that feeling. Like, bathe and soak in that feeling of having those guests there at conference. And if somebody says no to you today, wake up tomorrow, do the meditation again. Can you guys promise me that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
promise.
Awesome, Scott. So just do the meditation, choose a number, how many frontline guests, plus your team, definitely get your team there, but how many new frontline guests are you going to have at this conference? Meditate on that, and then you will see, all of a sudden your brain will go, oh, I should call, Susan. Well, then call Susan around that place of confidence of having. Just have a conversation. It's like you guys all know how to have conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hope so.
Yes?
Yeah, I hope so.
You're just going to have a conversation with people. And then, and you're going to say whatever you're going to say. You guys have heard and seen enough scripts. If you if you come from a place of, Kate, like you said, I go blank, well, you might want to work on a visualization in the morning of having the words come to you and the feeling of having the words come to you exactly in the moment that you need them to come to you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
whatever you think is not working for you, I want you to turn it around into having the wherewithal, the skills, the whatever. It's all in you. It's all there. Trust me. There's nobody on this call that cannot do this business. If you got one customer, you can get 100. So that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
250.
Whatever. Sure. If you got one rep, you can get 30. Honestly, it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so true. But you have to come from a place of having, because what happens when you're brand new, you got like beginner's luck, right? And you get some initial success. And then you let the outside world dictate your opinions about this business and your ability to succeed. And you forget who you are. When you first signed up, you had this moment of having it. You're like, oh, I can have this business. I can have you let your imagination allow you to sign up in this business. Then you forgot all about your imagination over time. And you let outside circumstances and other people and what they're doing and saying about Juice Plus, whether they're taking it or not, whether they quit, whether they, whatever, all that stuff is dictating the show, not that initial imagination of you having it. You got to get back to that place every morning of having what you want and how good that feels and how natural it feels and how it's so much easier to come from that place. Why would you, you're going into a conversation and you can't even breathe, you're breathing shallow. The other person, you think they can't pick up that energy? Of course they can pick up that energy, that you're not breathing. Or if you're taking Juice Plus but can't breathe, then what should I buy from you? You think I'm laughing, but it's true. We are mostly emotional beings, and buying is such an emotional process.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to get your emotions and your breath right. You got to become very sensitive, tuned into, oh, I'm not breathing. I'm breathing like this. Take a little sips of air.
Yeah.
You got to get very, very familiar with coming from that relaxed, having it place.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very true. I mean, I was just thinking when you were talking about that, Mitra, when Roxanne and myself and Megan, we all stood on the stage. And, you know, we were getting to be senior sales coordinators. And I just remember looking out, do you remember, right? Looking out over that stage, how incredible that felt.
Mm-hmm.
How happy we were that we had accomplished something and we had done it together, you know, and we were there supporting each other. And it was just, I think I was so happy I wanted to cry, but I don't think I could choose between the two. You know, it was so emotional. And I totally get that. It's like, and I want to have that feeling with me every day where it's just like, even if it's just a small accomplishment, it's like, look what happened today. Look what happened today, right? This was such a great thing. Even if it's small or big, it's an accomplishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wherever you need to go to find that joy before you take action is going to go a long way.
Yeah, because it's like adding to your bank. You keep adding to your bank.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what Sandy said about stoke your joy.
Yes.
Stoke
Absolutely.
your joy. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I just gave you is a very, very practical exercise of going inside and noticing your breath and really feeling that having it sense of having. I have it. I have it. I have it. I have it already. It's mine. I'm just on the journey. It's all unfolding right before my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Get on your I have it journey.
Powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. We're
Thank
coming up on the hour. Let's see. Did I have any other notes I wanted to share? We've got Calgary. Yeah, I mean, really excited. Lee was just sharing the numbers with me for Canada, and we're working on some real, I mean, I can't tell you how how a day goes by.
Because you have to be, zip it.
Just,
That just slip out.
I mean, in my 25 years, I've never talked to anybody at corporate unless it was an event over the weekend, like just working over the weekend, like working a lot. 20, 30 Boxer messages going back and forth between Janet Black and myself and Sean Hopkins and just working with corporate over the weekend. Like everybody's just working so hard to create. We've always knew we had the best products. We're about to have the best opportunity to go with it. It was a great opportunity. We have one of the highest payout marketing plans, but it's just that there was so much language for like since 1970 that got like layered on top of one another that you're gonna have to learn a little bit of new language, but it's much simpler and it makes a lot more sense.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Coolio. All right, that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Mitra.
Thank you, Mitra.
Great.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Very
From
well.
the bottom of our heart. Yeah. Thank you. And you know that having it goes with any layer of our life. You know.
Yes. Once you learn this tool, it will just change your world. You can have anything you want, that relationship that you want, that whatever you want, whatever you choose. And you got to be patient. Like you're not going to like you. I should show you my office right now because this is called personal growth right now. I mean, I just bought a new phone, a new iPhone, a new iPad, a new MacBook Pro with the new pencil and my office is being rearranged and I'm just getting ready for 2020. It's going down. So,
clear the space. Yeah. Good.
So, cool. So just so you know where I'm headed. Come with me.
Well,
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mitra. Thank you, everyone, jumping on this call. It was definitely, yeah, it was amazing. Thank you, Mitra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to know, you guys, I will be leaving for the family celebration in Europe, but we are so blessed. Mitra and Doug, they are here for you. Then if you need any consult calls, especially inviting to the Calgary, just let them know. They know we are reaching out to them. Then they don't have to be just waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay. I love you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful good night. And I will see you in Calgary.
See you there, Radka.
Bye,
Love
Team
you.
Transforming.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's
See you.
love.